future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
The Adam Carricker Show.
Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You look at a guy like Jonah Wilson, 6'2", 200. You got your Corey Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in a Tuesday edition of the show. It's gonna be great. If for no other reason, then gang's all here. Strick, Austin, Ellie with you for the next couple hours here during On the Block, brought to you by the great people over at Nebco, 4th-generation family-owned and operated company supplying everything the construction industry needs in Nebraska. Doing it again since 1908. 4th-gen, family-owned and operated business, 1,200 employees, 26 different companies throughout our great state. Going to be a great day. Like I said, we'll talk some NFL here. We'll talk some Husker spring sports in hour 2. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, about 20 minutes from now, Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker, current pro player for Love Volleyball Omaha, will be our guest in studio. We will also have the Love Volleyball Omaha setter, Laura Dijkema, in studio, who has been described as no less than the Caitlin Clark of the Netherlands. So a couple incredible conversations coming your way, again, at the bottom of the hour. 2:30 to 3, we will talk with Lexi Rodriguez, Laura Dijkema. Send us your questions, 402-464-5685. That's the number to our starter, Heyman Jewelers text line. We'll take some submissions there. If they pass muster, if they're adequate questions, we'll maybe pass them along to the athletes that are in studio with us. But until then, Stricky, lots going on in the NFL. We know the hiring cycle is going on. We'll get to that. But the final game of Wild Card Weekend was last night. It was the relocated game between the Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. The Rams end up winning that one, final score of 27-9. What a roller coaster ride for the Vikings. Start out 5-0, lose to the Lions and the Rams, rip off 9 straight wins. Then what do? Lose 2 straight games to the Lions and to the Rams. But I think the big story coming out of this one, Sam Darnold, career resurrection with Kevin O'Connell up there in Minnesota, signed as that kind of 1-year guy. It's why his contract is now expired with the Vikings, because he was supposed to be the bridge guy or the mentor for J.J. McCarthy, who has the knee injury, misses all of his rookie season. Strick, now the conversation, I think, about this game is less on the Rams, a pretty impressive showing for them, but it's really shifted, I think, to Sam Darnold and what the Minnesota Vikings will do at their quarterback position. What did you make of Sam Darnold's year overall, how he finished the year, and what that means for the Vikings in free agency now?
Well, I think he definitely had a really good showing, right? But it's not about what you do in the early stages of the season, in the middle of the season. It's kind of what you do when it matters, when it matters most. There were 2 great opportunities for Sam Darnold in his last 2 games. Sam Darnold's QBR was 14 in this previous game with the Rams in a playoff game, which is a wild card playoff game, which is kind of wild with them having the better record. But again, it's a divisional type of thing and so forth. Right. And so it's unfortunate that you end up with a 14-3. They've got to be feeling like Oregon right now, having that kind of record and then still have to go on the road. Was fortunate, I think, to get some form of a neutral site. But it looked like the Rams were just more ready, more prepared, more hungry.
That defensive line ate
them
last
up.
night
They
for the
ate
Rams.
9 sacks.
Whew.
But here's the other part. Okay,
Buy 9, get your 10th free.
So Lions, in the Lions game, 17 QBR.
Also very bad.
Which is a 1-seed playoff team. That is like your opportunity to knock off a top seed. When you get that opportunity and you're the lead, you're not Justin Jefferson, but you know what I'm saying. You're the guy that's controlling the controller of what happens with Justin Jefferson with that offense. What I saw was doubt, hesitation, and a nervousness that he just wasn't able to overcome. There was so much hesitation and doubt, and it's already hard to try to hold the ball in the pocket for beyond what is it? Two
and a half seconds. If the offensive line holds their blocks for 2.5 seconds, that's a pass block win.
They've done their job. That in those situations, he tried to go from 1 to 3 to 4, come back to 1 and 2, and then sacks were there. It's at that point you've got to throw that ball away. There's just no way you should have taken 9 sacks in a playoff game. That just does that holds you behind the chains. It's detrimental to your field positions. All of that stuff. Just get rid of the ball. Throw it out of bounds. Throw it away. Get out of the pocket. Do something. And he just didn't do that. And so he didn't look like he had command or control of the game at all. And I think in those situations when it matters, my question then thrown to you, what does, and to the Sauter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, what does that type of performance when it matters most do for hinder, block, or was it just a one-off?
Well, two off, really. I mean, if you look at the last couple of weeks against the Lions and the Rams, it's been interesting to read some of the conversations around this game and about Sam Darnold in particular, because I think Kevin O'Connell really did unlock something with Sam Darnold. The question to me is Sam Darnold a system guy, right? Does he need a guy like Kevin O'Connell to be successful, or can he transcend that, right? Can he take the lessons he learned in Minnesota and be successful somewhere else, right? I mean, Sam Darnold helped lead the Minnesota Vikings to a 14-win regular season. Sam Darnold, the guy who was seeing ghosts in New York, who wasn't great in Carolina, who had a flyer taken on by the San Francisco 49ers. It took him 3 or 4 years to win 14 games in some of these situations. He won 14 in 1 year. Now, wins are not fully a quarterback stat. Any quarterback should look better throwing to Jefferson, to Addison, to TJ Hawkinson. With Aaron Jones in the backfield, still a darn good NFL running back. And that defense was really good too. So it wasn't all on Sam Darnold in the victories. It's not all on Sam Darnold in the loss either, right? To me, Strick, there are really three ways the Vikings can go with this. And I think the Vikings have a leg up on some of these other teams, having had him in their building for a year now. I think they can either re-sign him, they can let him walk, or they can franchise tag him. What should Minnesota do?
Well, it just depends on how you feel about your previous decision with the quarterback that you drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They really seem to like J.J. McCarthy.
I think you just have to kind of do an evaluation. When does the franchise tag need to be completed? You know? When do they have to have those done? That's the thing. I think if you can hold off as long as you can, obviously there's going to be free agency. The question then becomes, what team will be able to overlook your performance in these last two games against, I mean, I can't even say that the Rams were a better defense than the Lions. I can understand, but they actually gave them a worse QBR than the Lions did with, I think, a better defense.
I'm curious to see too, Strick, because again, some of these conversations around Sam Darnold, I think the NFL decision makers are less freaked out about this than the general public. I think that they saw that same growth from Sam Darnold that Kevin O'Connell did, and Strick, his first legit playoff experience, right? He's not a young guy. You riding your little bike around?
Oh, no,
straight to Lompoc?
Clown time. It's my clown. That's my clown signal.
Bryce Harper said that's a clown question, bro.
When I want to clown around.
Big red nose.
But not this time.
Big wig.
Do you
big
see
old
it?
shoes. You're on that one, Stricky. Other one.
You see it?
It says Stricky. I know that guy.
Stricky.
What is your favorite who is your favorite pop culture clown?
You're
a Pennywise guy. Strick's a Pennywise guy. Like, let's just be honest. Come on.
I kind of like Pennywise. I like a little bit of Pennywise out in the gutter. I kind of like him. But
I knew it.
Clown, I really just any don't have to be a clown, but a clown. Like somebody that just clowns around, just a funny dude.
Like an actual clown.
Then Ronald McDonald.
That's a good one. Ellie, would you tell Ronald McDonald your super secret McDonald's order that only 3 people in the world know?
Yes, I would.
You would?
Only Ronald McDonald. You're
not telling Grimace?
No, definitely not telling him. He'd do something with it.
Were you, Ellie? Were you the type of person? And we just jumped off topic, but that's okay. Were you the type of person that when you went to Chuck E. Cheese and you saw like the Chuck E. Cheese guy and you start crying?
No,
that was me.
I knew it was you, Austin.
That was me.
Did you guys ever have like Scrubby the bear that would come in and teach you how to wash your hands? We had somebody in that. We had somebody in kindergarten come and do that. My best friend in kindergarten, bawling her eyes out. She just couldn't get over the fact that was a person in there. I thought it was real. But my parents taught me from a young age, like, that's a person in there. Like, you're fine.
Well, What
To
about
me, it was just like it looked like the old Chuck E. Cheese mascot looked like it crawled straight out of the Pennywise sewer. Like the
Well, it is a
animated
rat,
cartoon Chuck E. Cheese mascot, fine by me. But the one that looked like it crawled out of a New York sewer, yeah, no, miss me with that.
Yeah. Did you
We do have a couple votes for Homie the Clown, by the way.
Homie
G
the Clown. Yeah. No,
it's
he's
Krusty
good.
for me from Simpsons.
He's good. You like Krusty.
Krusty.
What about the bear? What's your favorite bear? Berenstein Bear? Or would you say the Berenstain?
Berenstein Bears.
I know it's Berenstein.
The Charmin Ultra
Berenstein
Soft
Bears.
Bears.
Huh?
Ellie sucks.
All y'all Mandela effect folks, it's EIN. Stop it.
Little
It's not
Beckett's on the
AIN.
little Berenstain
No.
Bears kick.
Huh?
Little Beckett's on a little Berenstain Bears kicks. We're getting back into that.
Good.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the OG Bear is Winnie the Pooh.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What's my guy?
Big Winnie the
What's
Pooh
my
guy.
guy that was the fire dude?
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey
the Bear.
That's my guy.
I mean,
Like,
Yogi
what
Bear.
are kids gonna
Smokey.
remember?
Smokey give you that deep voice. He command.
can stop wildfire.
There it is. Yeah. That's my guy. He sounds like Stricky with a little raspiness. They needed Smokey Bear to handle things the way it should have been handled, on the West Side. I ain't gonna say anything. They needed him to go in there and take care of business. Maybe run up. He needed to run up and say it again. He needed to run up on Gavin Newsom and tell him something. What do you need to tell him?
Only you can stop wildfires.
There it is. And we would have been all right.
Back to NFL football.
Sure.
Is there a world, Strick, in which the Minnesota Vikings do the Atlanta Falcons thing? Have their version of Cousin Penix? Or
say that again?
Can the Vikings pull off having Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy on their roster? Because here's the thing. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to take another one-year deal like he got with the Vikings. I think he's
But he ain't going to get no big paper.
That, but he might.
Okay,
but
that's the question I was going to tell me where. Who is taking Sam Darnold right now?
I think the Vikings could give him the Baker Mayfield thing. The Vikings
so basically
could give Sam Darnold the Baker Mayfield contract. Maybe a low price year, but Darnold's younger. Had a better year this year than Baker had before that.
Don't make me throw my hat in the air already. It's too early for that.
Here's the thing, Strick. A contract from the Ringer. A contract structured like Mayfield's would be long-term in name only. The Mayfield contract may be called a 3-year deal, but it's not nearly that big of a commitment for the Buccaneers. His cap hit in 24 was just $6.9 million, and while it will climb in 25 and 26, the Bucs left the door open that in case Mayfield flopped in 24, they would be able to get out of it as soon as this offseason. If the Bucs wanted to move on, they'd save $20 million against the cap with a post-June 1 release. If Mayfield's play totally implodes next season, the Bucs could cut him in 26 and save $40 million.
There you go. I mean, something like that.
But
see, I love distraction. I doubt it because he's young. He's going to probably want to go and try to do something. But that's the thing. Does he have delusions of grandeur?
I would hope not.
I'm just saying, like, would he step out there in the open market and believe that he can command something with a little bit more security? Because it's going to be tough. Like, you better hope you have a really good agent when you have a situation like that. Like, your agent has got to be very, very good to be able to have relationships. And maybe somebody on his roster that maybe down the road you might want to try to call in a favor for and get a lead direction. That doesn't always happen. I'm just saying.
Right.
They do throw that bone out there sometimes. Pause. Yeah, I think that's something that if you have some stipulations on it, throw it out there. Like a fishing rod.
Right. I don't think the Vikings can let Sam Darnold walk. I really don't. I mean,
I think they need him just to make sure.
Exactly. Just to make sure McCarthy is who you think. Right now, Sam Darnold's not going to want to be a backup again after the way he just played. I'm sure he's going to be looking for a starting job. But I do think that there is some value for Sam Darnold in playing in a place like Minnesota with a coach like Kevin O'Connell, who knows him, what he can do, what he can't do, what he can be asked to do, what he shouldn't be asked to do. It wouldn't shock me if next year Sam Darnold walks into fall camp as the starter. Right. I don't know if it should be an open competition with J.J. McCarthy or not, because the Vikings do really seem to like J.J. McCarthy. Didn't do a whole lot at Michigan his first couple of years, and then really burst on the scene, helped lead him to the national title game. Are you sold on J.J. McCarthy, Strick? I know the question's for the Vikings, but are you?
Early. I think it's too early. But the thing is, you got him on a rookie scale contract. You've got others that are coming out in the next 2 years that if for whatever reason it's a miss, you possibly could still grab something. Or you can still add something like that's kind of fallen off the wayside, like a Justin Fields type.
Mm-hmm.
So I say without stipulations, let him walk. I say then start looking for a competition meter with someone who has some upside, just kind of like a Mac Jones type, somebody like that, that ain't going to really cost you a whole bunch, but I think circumstances, situation, location, because like you said, Sam Darnold is looking like a system guy. There's system guys out there.
Right.
So I would say, I would say throw it out there, test it. And then if he doesn't bite, I'm not doing anything long-term, high value.
That was my next question for you.
No.
Would you rather offer Sam Darnold something like the Baker Mayfield contract or franchise tag him?
No, not franchise tag. Money's too high.
It's 1 year though. It's
I
right
know,
off the
but here's
books.
the issue. Yeah, you're right.
And the Vikings have space.
Well, here's the issue. I'm trying to now evaluate where my problems are. Do I need to reinforce my offensive line?
Clearly.
So I might need to go out there and spend some cake-ola on that. What areas do I need to address? Because right now I have McCarthy on a rookie scale deal. Not a crazy rookie scale deal either. Low level. So I can really build this team up. Maybe I do get a system guy. Maybe he's not it. Because you don't want to frustrate Justin Jefferson or Addison or any of those guys to where they're starting to look like your boy
Devontae.
That's why you my guy. You know exactly where I'd be going.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's the thing. You don't want to get frustration. Right. So you want to maybe find somebody maybe in that same age group, somebody that they feel good about, and give them that type of contract. Prove it. Somebody that's even, what's his name? Up in Geno.
Oh, Geno Smith. Yeah.
Somebody like that.
I don't think Sam gets to Geno territory though.
No, I'm just saying. Someone who kind of went through the rigmarole like Geno, found themselves so that you don't have to like over splurge,
right,
and put yourself at risk.
Right.
I think you build around it, build yourself up, see what JJ McCarthy becomes, and then move on if he's not that.
A couple things from our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Augie says the Colts could use a quarterback. Don't really want 40-year-old Joe Flacco back on the roster. I think Anthony Richardson deserves another
Good
shot.
Call.
I'd be curious about that. I would honestly really like the Colts to go after Justin Fields. Honestly, I would really like it. Cubsker is on that same wavelength. I need Fields to re-sign with Pittsburgh and get a whole season, 6 games of stats isn't enough for me. Also says, I tell you what, if Sam Darnold was any more consistent with taking sacks and holding on to the ball too long, he'd be a Steeler next year if Justin Fields wasn't already there.
Shout out to Justin
Jordan
Rogge real quick.
Says the
what
Vikings.
Does that mean?
Just a sec.
Oh.
Jordan P says the Vikings won't pay what he'll get on the open market, though. Grab Tyrod Taylor to wait for J.J. McCarthy.
Okay. I don't know if but okay.
Casper 2?
What is that?
That's Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Yeah. Like disappears?
Yeah,
twice?
I haven't seen the original Casper, so I don't know what Casper 2 is about.
Justin, I need
Ellie, you just gave I heard that. You're not even talking to the mic, and I heard that audible gasp from you.
I was just disappointed that you haven't seen Casper 1.
I mean, I know who Casper the Friendly Ghost is, but I just haven't seen the movie.
Well, he's got a son now,
it's a really
Ellie.
good movie.
He's got a son now, so they're definitely gonna start backtracking on some of those types of movies. You know,
I'm sure I'll make my way through some of them.
Yeah, Lil Herbie's gonna definitely want some of that action.
John in Cortland, since McCarthy is a developmental quarterback, franchise tag Darnold as a reward for the year, 1-year deal. I do think that's the path the Vikings would end up going down to give themselves a guy and yet some flexibility. We're going to go to break.
But you said he's not going to take it.
I think he would. I think he would. We're going to go to break. Text us questions for Lexi Rodriguez and Laura Dykema. We'll have those conversations to round out hour 1 of On the Block.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's LOVB, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit LOVB.com to switch today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Adam Carricker Show.
Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You look at a guy like Jonah Wilson, 6'2", 200. You got your Corey Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here during On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Super excited for how this hour is going to continue. We're talking with a couple players from LOVB Omaha, including one of your favorites. I'm Austin Norman, on the end, Eric Strickland. In between us, running the show, like
you know
for 4 years, just down the block from us at the
Down the block
Center.
or on the block?
Both.
Oh.
Why not both?
Just making sure.
Lexi Rodriguez, one
There
of the
she
newest
is.
members of LOVB Omaha, is our guest for the segment. Lexi, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. These last few months, finish the semester, Nebraska volleyball career comes to a close, holidays, signing professionally. What's it been like?
It's been crazy. Definitely something I've had to get used to. Obviously, complete 180 of just volleyball life, all of it. You go from doing the same thing you've been doing for 4 years, and then it's like, okay, that's over. Now you have to start something that you've never done, new team, new place. But I mean, I'm blessed to still be in Nebraska and have that sense of home, especially in America. So
Good. Yeah, that's good. So here's the thing, right? Coming up, obviously, Nebraska has been a very football school and basketball some, but volleyball is queen.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And even more than that, there was think about how young the sport was when you first came in, only being one volleyball league in the country, and now there's 3. What do you think about that explosion? And not only with that explosion, but the experience of what happened at Memorial Stadium just really set things on fire. Do you think that was part of it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, starting with Memorial Stadium, that game really, I think, just exploded the sport. And I think if you look at just attendances and stuff around volleyball after that game, it wasn't even just in Nebraska. Everywhere around the country was blowing up. People were just like, oh, like, I want to watch volleyball now. And I think it really set the tone over the past 2 years. And then obviously now having all these leagues, I think is just so special for just the United States. And just, I mean, fans in America take college sports so seriously. And then just having that next level for volleyball. I mean, you have the NBA, the MLB, NFL, and all of those. And so if there's an opportunity for volleyball players to take after college, I think that's everything.
When did playing professionally enter your mind? Was that always your dream, or is that something that now that there's a domestic league was a little heavier on your mind? When did professional volleyball come into the picture for you?
I think as soon as I got to college, I always wanted to play in the Olympics one day. And I knew if I wanted to do that, I had to go overseas to an international team to get some good experience after college. So I would say starting college, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to leave my family. I'm going to have to go to a different country. And then, I mean, my last 2 years, it started to be in the conversation a little bit. And then as soon as this opportunity was kind of set in stone, you can play volleyball in America, I was like, well, if I have the chance, I'm taking it, because I don't want to leave for 10 months out of the year and be away from my family and just have that culture change. I think especially as a rookie, being in America is so important.
You mentioned the culture change too, from college to professional volleyball. The coaching staff you played for the last 4 years, tops in the country. Not a lot of questions about that. What did they do, and what did Nebraska do to prepare you for the professional experience you're going through now?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're younger, obviously they're just trying to get you acclimated to this college volleyball scene and get you kind of prepared for just big games and stuff like that. But I think as you get older, they're always trying to make you better. And especially if they know that you have plans to go to the next level, or that's something that you're interested in, I think they're always giving you things to work on or letting you watch players from overseas, just kind of get that experience in your mind so you can get prepared.
Being a multiple time All-American as a libero.
4 time
every year, multiple
Get it right, Strick.
every dang year, right? I You know,
Put
I
some
wasn't
respect
trying
on
to.
her name.
I wasn't
Sure.
trying to gas her up, super gas her. I was trying to do it on the low key. But no question about that. You know, you're spectacular in what you do now. At the collegiate level, what do you believe that gave you, just with not only that experience, but with also the accolades and in preparing you to become a professional? Because you do you look at it the same, or do you look at it as something different? Because being I played in the NBA, so being a professional is definitely uniquely different than when I played at college. So I you know, understanding that difference, how do you approach that mentally, knowing now that it's not just, you know, coming together and playing and divaning? You're a professional now.
Oh yeah. I think that's definitely something still trying to figure out a little bit, but my mindset behind it is obviously I had a great career at Nebraska and I was able to accomplish amazing things that I never really imagined were possible. But now it's like, okay, that was almost like one portion of my life. And it's like, now I'm entering the next chapter. And obviously everything that I've been through and all the experiences I've had at Nebraska, I think have helped prepare me for the next chapter. But I also think it's like, okay, that's all said and done. Like, obviously there's accolades and stuff that I was able to accomplish at Nebraska, but now it's like, okay, now I'm entering a new space. It's kind of a new start. Like, none of that really matters.
No more, right?
It's like, okay, cool. I had a great career, like loved it, but now it's like, okay, I have new goals. I have new things I want to accomplish. And so just kind of taking it with a fresh start.
Awesome.
We're talking with Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker volleyball player, current pro for LOVB Omaha. Our fans, your fans, Husker volleyball fans, are not done with memory lane quite yet. I promise we'll move off of it in just a minute here. But Cubsker, you're going to get a pair of tickets to the home opener because you have this question here. Cubsker on our text line, Lexi, wants to know, what's your favorite memory of playing for Husker volleyball?
Oh, wow. That's such a tough question. I just think there's so many. I mean, obviously you have matches that are most memorable. I remember some, obviously, like Memorial Stadium. Nothing could really like top that experience, and just having a world record and being able to play in front of that many fans, Husker fans, and just being able to do that was actually unreal. But then also just
Did you guys have a tunnel walk?
Yeah, we did.
That was dope, right?
I know. Yeah. It was awesome. We had a bunch of alumni there to kind of greet us and stuff. So everything about that just still gives me chills. But I think obviously most important to me was always just my teammates and just the memories you make in the locker room, on travel trips. I think all of that is definitely most memorable for me.
Which is your favorite Big Ten road trip?
Ooh, Big Ten road trip. I mean, this year I got to experience the new addition to the 4 teams. So going to Oregon and Washington, I think was super, super cool. And it's beautiful out in Eugene. So I would say, I know I only did it once, but that was probably my favorite.
So I know in basketball, there are times we get international trips. You know, I think it's every 4 years or something like that we would get an international trip. And then we would go to some form of a tournament. Did you guys get that type of experience? And so tell me, what was your greatest experience with that international trip? And then like a Christmas tournament,
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
We took a foreign trip to Brazil, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. So usually they do one every 4 years. So you get to be a part of one while you're a part of the team. So we were in Brazil for about, I want to say it was like 2.5 weeks after our spring season. So it was around April, May. And we got to go to like 4 different cities and kind of just experience the culture over there, and just the culture around sports obviously is way different than in America. And so, and then also we got to just play some high level of volleyball and get also that experience of the different style of volleyball and just how competitive it is overseas. And so that was super cool. And then coach always says that when you're on a foreign trip, you get to build your culture, get closer team bond, just because you're always together throughout this process of a foreign trip. So I would say that was something that was always really, it was really cool. And I mean, everyone gets to experience it. So it's definitely something you take after you leave.
You mentioned your teammates, right? The bonds you made with them. You get to reconnect with a couple of your teammates up in Omaha, and Lauren and Maddie. What's that been like catching up with them on the volleyball floor specifically?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the volleyball part, it's been very nice having them just because it's like, gives me a sense of comfort going into this transition. And then obviously having them on the court with me is just another aspect that allows me to adapt and get used to this change a little bit. Just having someone that like I know I can trust, they can trust me, and we have that sort of connection. That's been super helpful for me, at least.
And you're playing with one of your coaches from this past year. What's that like with Jordan Larson?
Oh, that's so crazy to me. I never thought I would be coached by the Jordan Larson while I was in college, and then to have the experience to play with her is just something I literally never thought would have been possible. She is literally the GOAT of volleyball, and just being on the same court as her and just how she plays, you can just tell she has so much knowledge and so much experience. So just getting the opportunity to learn from her, I think, is the biggest thing.
Okay. Last thing for me.
Okay.
You had to do a contract signing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Family there, was it like, would you say it correlated to your letter of intent? Or was this just uniquely different? Was family there? Did you kind of do it on your own? Like, what was that experience of signing that contract?
Signing a contract, it was definitely a little bit different than like signing your letter of intent. I think just because this is like what you dream of, kind of just going to the next level. And especially in America, I think, when these leagues happen, I was like, oh, the possibility might be there that I can play in America. But then you sign the contract and it's like, okay, I'm staying
Sign
home.
in stone.
Yeah, it's set in stone. I'm staying home. I get to be close to my family. And then obviously my family's there to support me. And just obviously they're happy that I'm staying close. So
what does that drive? 4 hours, 5 hours?
5 hours.
Yeah.
So not bad at
Not
all.
too bad.
Easy day and back trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was everything. I mean, it's super surreal just after college being like, okay, now I'm a professional. Like now this is my job. And so definitely super cool experience for sure.
Good stuff.
The other Husker on the Omaha roster, Justine Wong-Arantes.
Oh, yeah.
Are you holding the digs record over her? Is she giving you the cold shoulder? What's that been like?
No, there's been some jokes around just in the team, but I mean, she has been so supportive of me throughout my whole entire career. She's always been super supportive. And I mean, just having her support also has meant the world to me. And then now getting to be in the same gym as her, just like with Jordan, I think, especially at my position, having someone with all the experience and all the wisdom and knowledge behind just playing the sport in multiple Olympics and at the highest level. I mean, I couldn't think of anyone else to be in the gym with to kind of learn and grow. So yeah, I mean, I think it's been so cool and she's been so awesome. So I love being in the gym with her.
That's awesome. That's Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker, current pro for Love Volleyball Omaha. Inaugural season home tip-off first serve match, January 24th, Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Tickets online at LOVB.com. We're giving away another pair of tickets next segment. Lexi, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming in. Enjoy the ride. I'm sure you are. Sounds like you're soaking it in. We're trying to get people out to see you guys. It's just, quickly, why should people come watch you guys on the 24th?
I mean, this is history, and everyone supported Nebraska volleyball with their whole entire heart. And now there's an opportunity to support the next level of volleyball. So
it's right down the street for me, so I'm going to be in the building.
Yes.
If seeing Lexi is enough, I guess you get to see Stricky too on the 24th.
Exactly.
So no reason not to go. Lexi,
If you
once
hear
again,
the
thanks a
loud
ton.
guy up there, you know who it is.
Yeah.
There you go. Lexi, once again, thanks a ton.
Thank you.
We'll go to break. When we get back, the center for Love Volleyball Omaha, Laura Dykema, will join us. Keep sending in those questions. Again, if you send in a good question, get to it. Another pair of tickets for you. We'll do that to wrap up hour one of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies with light winds. They're acting high around 22. Tonight, increasing cloud cover with calm winds, a low around 13. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds. They're acting high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Beck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's LOVB, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit LOVB.com to switch today.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
Normally, we would play the Shootout with Strick at this time. We will play tomorrow instead.
No!
We're
We
playing
playing
tomorrow.
set out with Laura.
We could. No. We won't put her on the spot like that. She's a pro. She could handle it. Our second guest from LOVB Omaha, the setter for the team, Laura Dykema, in
Not
studio
shootout,
with us.
set out.
Laura, welcome in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
First of all, Nebraska.
Yeah.
How long have you been here? What do you think of the place?
Well, I arrived in November and it's flat like in the Netherlands. And it's cold and the people are very nice. So till now, everything so far so good.
Weather-wise, again, dumb American question. Compared to the Netherlands, I mean, this is brutally cold. Like, this is pretty darn cold even for us. What would it be like back home right now?
Well, in the Netherlands, it's gray and rainy, so I think Nebraska is an upgrade for me. Yeah.
I love it.
Real quick. Is it a place that I need to really visit, like Amsterdam?
Yes.
It's like I've been like I was there. I was in Bodrum, Turkey. I was in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and I thought about jumping on a plane and heading over, but I need to do that.
You should.
It's a must.
It's a must.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice city. It's cute. The nice buildings.
Time of year.
Spring.
Springtime.
Yeah, we have the tulips. It's nice weather. Yeah.
Okay.
Call me when you go. I will give you some recommendations.
Give me some recommendations.
Yeah.
I will.
Your day job's a setter. Your side job is a tour
to
guide?
set it up.
Tour guides. From now on, also tour guides.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Laura, you've had a long professional career overseas in Europe. We'll get to that. But you're here playing for LOVB Volleyball Omaha now. How did you find out about this opportunity? What made you want to come to the States and play volleyball?
Well, I always said that if I could do my career over, because now I'm obviously 34 years old already, so in the window of my career, and I always said, like, I would love to have this college career, this experience. And I think in America, it's just a different sports mentality, how you enjoy the sports, and it's like business marketing. And yeah, I just want to have this experience. So this was the main reason to come here. Yeah.
Laura, you've done a lot of winning in your career. Now you join a team with a lot of winners on it. A bunch of winners coming together. What do you think that the competition of the league have you found it to be so far? And what are your expectations for Love Volleyball this season?
Well, my expectations were pretty low because, of course, it's a new league. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But with all the girls that they have signed up to, like Olympians, national champions, there are so many good players, great players. Of course, I think Lexi also mentioned her before, like with Jordan Larson in one team. Her back is hurting from all the Olympic medals, So I think it's such an honor to play with all these girls together. And now we have only 6 teams, but I see really a bright future for Love that in the future it can be like the NBA. Yeah.
Wow.
You've had an incredible, extensive career over in Europe. Where are some of the places you've played professionally before coming here?
I played in the Netherlands, of course, Germany, Turkey, Italy, and Russia.
What was your favorite?
Italy, of course. The culture.
Oh, yeah. Food is amazing, I'm sure. Yeah.
Pizza, pasta, but also the league is very strong. A lot of Olympian players are playing there. So it was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Do you have the opportunity? Oh, wait, let me ask the question first. Is family here or mostly still in Europe? Or do you have the opportunity for them to get over here to experience the States the way that you get a chance to do it? How does that work for you?
Actually not. They are all in the Netherlands. And I'm here alone, so I'm having the experience all by myself. And actually, I also do this in Europe because I'm from the Netherlands. And when I play professional, I played in Italy, Russia, and then I'm also always going alone. So that's not new for me. But of course, I hope that my friends, at least this season or maybe next season, can come over to see how it's be to live in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Like, what's that feeling like? Because when I played in the NBA, one of the hardest things for me was getting traded. Mm-hmm. Not that you guys get traded, maybe you do. I don't know how it works in volleyball, but moving to a new country, moving to a new place, playing in a different league, that's kind of like, to me, like getting traded. It's like you've gotten comfortable, you've gotten familiar, you've got to meet people, you got to know different people in that specific, and now you're on to the next one. Yeah. Do you enjoy that experience of the move, or would you like more stability? How do you view that now that you're playing as a professional?
Well, I like to change, to learn about new cultures, those kind of things. But what you say, I hate the first weeks. Like, it's like a first day of school. Everybody can have this feeling. The first day of school, you don't know where to go. You don't know the people. You don't know who your teammates are. These first weeks are terrible. But after, when you start to connect with the people, it gets so fast, so easy. But because in the end, you have the same goal. You want to win this league. So you work towards this goal.
Okay.
What is the volleyball culture in Europe, right? I mean, a lot of people think soccer. Obviously, there's volleyball leagues all over Europe. What is the volleyball culture of Europe?
Well, yeah, it's very professional. We have different leagues. I think the strongest leagues are Italy, Turkey, Poland, Russia was it also for a long time before the war. They play Champions League. They play the highest level of volleyball, I think, in the world now. Yeah.
You've also represented your country, the Netherlands, on their national team for a while now, and it's been on the international stage at the Olympics and whatnot. What does it mean to you to represent the Netherlands here on American soil?
A lot of Dutch players also want to maybe to come here to this league. So I feel like I am the first one. Laura, you go there, figure it out for all of us. So this is fun. And I'm very proud of everything what we achieved also in the past. For example, in Rio at the Olympics in 2016, we played for the bronze medal against USA. I lost against Jordan and Justine and everybody. So it's still painful, but it's like nice to play here and to represent my country.
What's so different about the international experience playing for the Netherlands national team versus the professional experience?
Of course, I think professional is more like a job for me, and like national team is like you feel honored, to wear your jersey from your country, to have the flag on your chest. It's something special. Yeah.
Did you dream of playing professionally before you dreamed of playing for the Netherlands team, or is that the other way around?
Actually, I never dreamt about it, but I don't know. For me, to play for the national team is a big honor. Also, last year I was the captain of the team, and whenever the national anthem is on, so I love it. Yeah.
Laura, this is a 2-part question, and then I'm done because you've been excellent. You've been great. As a setter, is it you that makes the calls? Is it you that kind of like? See, I was a point guard, so as a point guard, you kind of see things throughout the game. You get an understanding of who's hot, who's not, where to go, how to distribute, who to set up, all of that stuff in a different type of way. Is that something that you kind of do as well? And the last part of that question is, what is like your regiment for staying in shape or preparing? Like, do you kind of take a time off, a certain amount of time to where you don't even want to look at a volleyball or look at a court or set a ball and then kind of get back into it? So it's a 2-part question, and then I'm done.
I think, first of all, I think setter is like similar like a point guard.
Yeah.
In the end, it's all in my hands of the setters. We decide who gets the ball, who can score, and we also set up the play. So we decide where the middle blocker is running to. So we are the brain of the team. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Toot your own horn. It's fine. You can do it.
Yeah. So this is. I think. This is also the fact that I love my job so much. And next to that, your second question
was about your training regimen and the mentality. Like, how do you go ahead?
We don't have so much time during off season because, especially when you play for a national team, you're also playing in the summer. So when we have 2 weeks off during a year, then it's a lot, and that's also something that this league is working on. That also national team players can have some off time before and after the season, so we can extend our careers a little bit more. So that's really nice of Love. Yeah.
Which is more difficult, the physical grind of playing internationally and then professionally without a break, or the mental aspect?
I think also mental, because of course it's hard to stay away from your family, to stay away from home, and at one time you just want to be with the people who you love, of course. But on the other hand, to work to this success together, it's so much fun.
One quick question: are you married?
No.
Okay, that part. How is it? How do you manage? Do you just, is it hard?
Yeah.
Because I knew for me, I didn't want to get married because I knew how difficult it is to move it. And I just love it from a woman's perspective that I get to ask that type of question. How do you deal with relationships?
Yeah, it's hard indeed, because I'm always away from home.
Yeah.
Also, so you never have the time to connect really with somebody. So if you want to set up a dating show here, let's go.
Literally, love volleyball.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Well, Laura, we are so glad that you're a part of Love Volleyball Omaha. We hope that even though your family is back in Europe, you get a second family here in Nebraska and with Love Omaha.
And you're welcome on the block anytime.
Anytime. Thank you so much for coming in. Best of luck this year.
Thanks so much.
That's Laura Dykema, setter for Love Volleyball Omaha. We'll go to break, hour 2 of On the Block when we get back.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's LOVB, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit LOVBOMA.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Early break.
And I would race to something warm, like just a burger or something that would warm my
A burger.
Hold it, I'm having a break for someone give me a cheeseburger.
Well, you have a Dairy Queen.
Give me a cheeseburger.
Burger me.
Burger me.
The Slurpees I got were red raspberry from Dairy Queen, and usually you can get something warm there. Fries. Just give me your fries, quick.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back in hour 2 of On the Block on a Tuesday. What a fun half an hour with a couple of studs, a couple stars for Love Volleyball Omaha. Lexi Rodriguez, Laura Dykma, they were our guests here during On the Block. If you missed it, check out the stream, check out the podcast. That'll be up sooner than later for you. Really appreciate Love Volleyball Omaha taking some time to come down here, have some conversations with us, get some spots recorded for us, and we got some stuff to give away. Pair of tickets still up for grabs. We'll give those out in the next segment. But right now, texter number 8 with the right answer, over, under, or push, Strick's answer to this question.
To Stricky Love.
How many career digs?
That's my new name. No,
did Lexi
I don't want
Rodriguez
it.
have at Nebraska?
My new name, if you don't call me Stricky Love right now, Austin, my new name, Stricky Love.
UE Strick 20. You ain't no Stricky
No,
Love.
I'm Stricky Love.
That's
no
a police.
Diddy.
No, I can't say that.
No Diddy. Okay, what's the question? And what's
Texter,
somebody getting stricken?
No, someone's getting a Lexi Rodriguez signed Nebraska volleyball.
I see it.
Texter number 8 with the right answer, over, under, or push. Strick's answer to this question.
Can I
Texter
Google
number
it?
8.
Can I Google it?
You probably already have. How many career digs did Lexi Rodriguez have at Nebraska?
I know it.
4 years. Carry the 2. Square root of bop. Bam.
4 seasons for Lexi.
Minus
4-time
that,
All-American.
Couple mistakes here. Oh, bop, boom. How many games they play a year? I need to add that into the equation.
Between
30,
like 35, give or take 35.
Bam. Average of that. Boom, dop. Time. Can I get my calculator?
Just give an answer. For the love of all things holy.
I need to understand. Okay, hold on. Damn, bop, 39 on, bam, divided by, okay, yeah. I'm going to say,
Jeez Louise.
I'm going to say 1,200.
Stricky says 1,205. Texter number 8 with the right answer, over, under, or push. We'll get the Lexi Rodriguez.
Ellie, what are you doing?
Volleyball. We will let Ellie give the answer when the time comes. Again, texter number 8, over, under, or push. 1,205 digs for Lexi Rodriguez in her career. Let's see here. Augie says Stricky Love. No. He's not going for it. He is not going for it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
What was the number?
Next one. Okay, we got it. We got our winner. 96-57. has the right answer. It is an over. Ellie, how many career digs for Lexi Rodriguez at Nebraska? Could you please turn your mic on?
1,897.
Well, dang, I was close.
No, you weren't.
You were 50% short, Stricky Love.
Dang, I was trying to do my math. You were speeding me up.
Love it.
I would have got there.
Love is all you need, but Stricky Love needs more.
But I would have got there if you didn't rush me. You rushed me.
Record 1,891.
The year 1891?
1,891 to beat Justin Wongeratez's record.
I'm upset that you guys rushed me. You see,
no, what?
Ticket
that was the
on the block.
longest I've ever
on the
heard.
block. You see how they do me? I couldn't do my math. They wouldn't let me use my math.
Text lines.
The math was math and Stricky, just not for you.
Huh? What happened?
What?
What did they say?
What did you say?
You know what?
Yeah, I'm just very confused right now. What did you have to say, Ellie?
Nothing.
Ellie?
She said something.
Someone listen back on the replay and tell us what Ellie had
Ellie's
to say.
telling fibs over there today. She's
why
not,
she
don't have no Stricky love.
Why she always
lying. Oh my God. Oh, you all
Rich, Strick, you were way under. Old Dad 34. Strick Love. That's a negative for me. They're not feeling Strick Love.
Dang, they're not loving Stricky. Okay.
David from Renew. It was over times 2. Jeez Louise, Strick.
You didn't let me do the carryover and do my, multiplication.
Hoff from Lincoln. They're dogging you, Strick.
I see that. It's not good. I'm not happy about it. I thought there was love here on the block. There is no love right now. That's why I was trying to add and interject some love from Love Volleyball, but now y'all don't love Stricky. It's okay, though. Stricky loves Stricky.
Like Ricky love Ricky? Stricky loves Stricky? Is that what we're going for right now?
Mm-hmm. Stricky loves the meal. That's for sure. No question about it. Shout out to Luke. Luke hooking a brother up with that.
Magic.
Good.
Ellie, mute his mic. Take over the show. Cubsker. Stricky had all day to answer. I'm with Ellie.
Wow.
Finally.
It's unbelievable. Okay, I'm going to be quiet.
All right, let's start an Ellie fan club.
Let's see.
Sure.
David from Renew.
Who's coming?
You got to find that on the text line, Stricky. I'm not going to spoil the surprise for you. But
David. I thought we were cool. I thought we had cigars and a few drinks.
No, it's not bad.
David.
He's not dogging you. It's just kind of funny. Let me know when you find the text line.
Oh, God.
Because this is good, David from Renew. And it gave me an idea. It gives me an idea, but I can't tell Stricky my idea.
David, it's love, man. It's love. It's love.
It's not Stricky love, but it's love.
But it's love. It's love. I love it.
Sorry,
you guys are
text
great.
line, y'all are popping off. 402-464-5685. Stricky, let's talk some bat and ball sports. You moonlighted as a baseball player. Big year for Husker baseball and Husker softball. Let's start with Husker softball. Jordy Ball, the number 2 player in college softball by a number of rankings. She's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for number 98 in the circle for the Huskers? What is it going to take for her to be the number 2 player in the country coming off the knee injury, the knee surgery?
Yeah, it really sucks that happened to her, and and didn't get a chance and lost. Will she gain an extra year?
She should be able to,
right?
I think. I hope.
Okay, so my thing is, don't rush yourself. Don't overdo it, because what'll happen is you'll try to compensate. So maybe your throwing angle will get messed up, maybe velocity, but until you can really get back to where you don't have to feel like there's any compensation, any shortage, where you can really stride out, you feel comfortable on the landing, all of those things, just work your way into it slow. Don't be disappointed. You're probably going to have a bad outing or two, but you've got to really get your mental space to where you don't want to hinder yourself by any way of compensation. So I would say getting my mind, like, use this, especially earlier in the season, earlier in the time, to get your mind back right. And because when you've been fully healthy, there's nothing that hinders you. I remembered having that 2nd-degree ankle sprain, and I wasn't able to push off, and I wasn't able to get that first step that I felt gave me an advantage. I wasn't able to elevate on my mid-ranges. And so I had to try to compensate, and it didn't do me any good. I started leaning. I wasn't going straight up on shots. Shots started drifting. It was just a bunch of stuff, and it was better off to just sit down and really get fully healthy instead of trying to play on it.
It's also interesting in softball compared to baseball, Strick, the impact that one player can have on a game, especially in Jordy Ball's position as a pitcher, right? Because these girls go out there, they throw multiple times in the same weekend, whereas baseball, if you're a starter, you get your one game in the 3 or 4 game series, and then the rest of it's, the 2 and 3 guy or the bullpen guy. Some bullpen guys will pitch multiple days. But that's where I'm going to be so curious to see Jordy Ball and what kind of impact she has coming from Oklahoma, right, where she won the national titles, was part of that great team, that great program. There's a lot of external pressure on Jordy Ball to not necessarily be a savior, right? It's a good Husker softball program. But I'm curious to see, again, not that she's alone, right? It's a good team in Husker softball, but it's not Oklahoma level.
Yeah.
I hope, too, for Jordy Ball, too, part of that avoiding overcompensation isn't just physically, but also mentally, right? Coming back home, getting hopefully a full year in front of the home state for the home program that heavily pursued her out of high school to come play for Nebraska. I'm curious to see just how much the talent at Oklahoma around Jordy Ball impacted her, and then vice versa, how Nebraska having to make up for the loss of an all-time program superstar in Billy Andrews, the way she was able to hit for power. The physical compensation is a part of it, but mentally too. That's where it's going to be important, I think, for Jordy Ball to walk the line of bringing a new attitude, a new element to the program, a new dynamic that it hasn't had in a while, but also not putting so much pressure on herself that she's trying too hard to be that player.
Well, you and I are kind of saying the same thing, just approaching it from a different perspective in a different way. But in essence, we're definitely talking about it as far as the mental. The mental is where it's going to have to be in order to overcome, because you have expectations. You have not of the people per se, but of yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's no different than the expectation that I had when I was with the Mavericks and I knew we were going to play at Devaney one more time. And then to be heartbroken that season ends up being a shortened season. You end up playing a lockout year and you missed what would normally be something that would happen every year. And there's just that looking forward to getting back, not just out there on the field, but just getting back to that prime shape and ability that you are, because you know how it is with certain injuries for people. You know what I mean? You know what that neck injury did for Peyton Manning, and how he was able to overcome it in some way, but didn't have the same velocity, didn't have the, you know what I mean? There can be frustration with it unless you learn mentally how to overcome and press through it.
It's going to be interesting.
I mean, you got to think of the same thing for your boy. Unfortunately, I don't think he ever overcome.
My boy? Is it actually my boy? Or are you kidding?
What's his name? He was the top draft choice, I want to say, for Orlando or Philly.
Like Markelle Fultz?
Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, the Yips. Which that's an eternal baseball and softball problem.
You know what I'm saying? That you just think of that, like when you just go back and watch your previous film and you're like, I can't get there.
Don't even recognize that.
Don't even recognize it. Right? Those things have got to be very frustrating, very similar, and you can go all through pretty much a lot of sports. Think about also like someone who was a diver. And I don't know if he was able to do it to the same level after this, but when Greg Louganis hit his head, think about the mental to overcome jumping at that height off of a platform and then hitting in some form of, you lose awareness, spatial, but think about having to go back up there again with the thought of having to overcome that. Guess what you do? You jump further out sometimes. You don't jump with the same height with worry of that.
Don't walk at the same speed.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say. It's the mental that you have to overcome.
Right. Husker softball at number 21 in the preseason polls. That's 3 spots better than Husker baseball, who enters the preseason poll at number 24. Pretty good for an older team here, Strick. When I look at Big Ten baseball, It's not a power league. I think it's a ways away from being a legitimate, power league, power player consistently. You get a team like Michigan that makes a run to the College World Series. Indiana certainly had its moments, Ohio State here and there. Last time Nebraska was in this position, Strick, winning the Big Ten tournament, or at least having a good showing in the Big Ten tournament, things kind of collapsed the next year, right? And I can kind of compare this to Husker basketball. Make the tournament last year. What's the follow-up this year? Husker baseball has been a more consistent postseason team right now, but in baseball too, for this team specifically, I think it's two things. Number one, coming into the year probably as the number 2 team in the conference, being the hunted, not the hunters. That team last year had something to prove, right? This year, hey, people are gunning for you. How do you stand up to that? But then also, I think, like we've been talking about with basketball, how does Nebraska baseball find those difference makers in the postseason? When you look at baseball, Strick, and you're trying to take that next step to go from a good player to a great player, is more of that a mental thing or is that a physical thing in baseball?
It's definitely, baseball is so much more mental than you would think, right? I'm going to say this other part that I think could be beneficial real quick for Husker women's softball is the shock and awe of a loss of that type of magnitude from that type of player.
Yeah.
It literally it's kind of like when you throw the baby, a lot of people look at it and they think that it's cruel, but it's sink or swim. Babies are more apt. They're more closely related because of coming out of the womb. So when they're earlier in that, if you really want them to learn to swim, you throw them into the water early, and they have just as an innate ability, instinct to just get it cracking, right? And it doesn't allow for the fear to creep into their psyche,
right,
at that young age. The older you get, the more that those things. So what you hope that happened in that period of last year is that there was an elevation by being thrust into having to do more, having to become better as a pitching or as a pitcher, as a pitcher for softball, having to be a better hitter because there may be tighter games than probably you would have expected. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not knowing you have a shutdown. You got to play better defense. We can't just let things. You can't be lax because we can get bailed out. Of those circumstances. So I actually think it's mental. I think it's very much mental, especially in baseball too, because when you go through slumps, you see everybody's trying to do Joe Boo. Everybody has some form of a Joe Boo. Dang, it's these tights and I'm wearing. God, I'm throwing these, I'm burning them, and I'm going to do something else. Oh, it's the bat. I'm not going with the 272. I'm going with the 261, whatever the case may be. Oh, it's the grip. Everybody comes up with some form of what it is, but it's really just mental.
Fair enough. I still just think this is a fascinating year for Husker baseball, doing, again, the Husker basketball thing of get old and stay old. That's what they did last year. They go to the junior college ranks, which is definitely more a thing in baseball than in other sports, right? JUCO is still around in college football, not as much. Same with basketball, right? Nebraska basketball gets K-State Tominaga from the JUCO ranks. Husker baseball has a lot of connections there in the junior college level, and they get a lot of players up from that level. Robbie Bolin is a guy from Barton that I think is really intriguing. But there's a lot of pieces from last year's team in pretty key spots that are back. You look at a guy like Josh Overbeek, who played well at the end of the year. Rhett Stokes really came on. You get another year like a guy like Will Jeske. Case Sanderson is a guy that played well. Dylan Carey, middle infielder, is back as well. Before we even get to the pitching staff, led by Mason McConaughey, what he was able to do last year. Another year for Tucker Timmerman. Drew Christo, what does he bring to the table? Strick, I think sometimes there's a very fine line for teams to walk in terms of bringing back enough of your guys and keeping that continuity in that chemistry, but also like the Indianapolis Colts. That's the example I'll go to. Sometimes you can trust your own guys too much. You need to breathe in some fresh air of competition, some new guys to provide a fresh spark every year. Are you, in your view of pro sports, college sports, is it better to have more continuity than competition? Is it better to have more competition than continuity from year to year?
I think it has to be a combination. I think it has to be a combination, and And when I say combination of scheduling, competition, but also finding those right combinations within the lineup structure, that's part of it too. You know, who works well together, who works well in front of your power hitter, who works well at the bottom end of that, who's somebody that we can trust to really be disciplined in letting us see enough pitches to not allow somebody to get early outs and get us, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's that combination too, man. I think it's a combination of all of it.
On the text line, 402-464-5685, we have Cubsker saying Timmerman is going to break out this year. I'm calling it now. Husker baseball going to get tested right out of the gate as the second game for them is against Vanderbilt. That is correct. Vanderbilt, a top 25 team, usually a top 10 team in program, a little bit of a down year for them. They start out the year in Scottsdale, Arizona against UC Irvine, solid program. Vanderbilt, number 16 after a little bit of a down year last year by their standards, not by really anyone else's standards. And then a decent San Diego State program as well. They go to Grand Canyon for a game, 3 games against Louisiana. Again, solid program there in the Sun Belt. Right after that, they head back to Frisco, Sam Houston, LSU, and Kansas State. That's a test. Omaha's kind of had Nebraska's number recently. South Dakota State, Washington at home, couple against Wichita. And then the California road trip, UCLA, a pretty well-respected team that's known in Omaha. You get them out there in Los Angeles in early to mid-March. Pepperdine is not great, but then again, a storied USC program. Maybe not what it has been, but still good. Go to Kansas State. You host Oregon State here in Lincoln. That's going to be huge. And Strick, that's, I think, what we've really seen from Will Bolt, that we see even more so than, say, Husker basketball, right? Husker basketball had an okay non-con, not great on the lower end of things, but they do go out to Hawaii for that tournament, Creighton St. Mary's. Husker baseball is testing themselves, and I think they have to do that because of the perception of the Big Ten. What can it do for a team when you know night in, night out, you got to bring your A game, you're going to get beat? Does that grind on you? Does that wear you down? Or does that keep you fresh to have that much competition?
I think it raises you up, and it's definitely going to prepare you for what you're going to face in the Big Ten. So you want to hopefully give yourself an opportunity in winning some of those games that raises your RPI numbers, and then go in the Big Ten and don't have some fall off.
Yeah.
Now, the issue I think with Nebraska is the midweek games. They have to do way better than they did last year in those midweek games. That's the one that they've got to they got to say, look, that's got to be like a basketball home game.
Exactly.
I don't care where you're playing, but it's got to be like, we're taking care of this. You know, we can understand going on a road trip and, you know, a 3-game series on the road. We might drop 1. We might even drop 2. Okay. But those midweeks, I don't care where you're playing them, if it's up in Creighton, if it's at Omaha, you've got to really focus on those because they got to be better there. I think that's where they tapered off a lot last year.
From March on, the midweeks are at Omaha on Tuesday, March 4th, back home the next night against South Dakota State, where Nebraska actually gets Cale Frost from Summit League Player of the Year out of the transfer portal. So a couple Summit League programs there. A couple games against Wichita State here in Lincoln. Pepperdine on the road, not a great program, but hey, road test against a California team in the first month of the year. Go down to Manhattan against Kansas State, a team that's really, really making some noise now. Creighton, obviously, to start off April. You go to Lawrence, Kansas to take on an improving Kansas program. 2 weeks later, you get Creighton again, a return game from Kansas in Lincoln. That one is sandwiched between Northwestern and then a road trip to Maryland. You'll go from Maryland back home to Lincoln, host Kansas State. Last game against Creighton is in early May, and that's your last midweek game of the year. So there's certainly opportunities there for Nebraska to actually kind of improve its standing, right? Not just maintain. Like yes, I think you're onto something there, Strick, where you have to view them as the home games. We don't lose these. Yeah. We got to take care of business in them. But I do think that the non-con midweek games actually have more benefit for Nebraska this year in terms of the RPI than even they did last year. So slightly higher risk, but definitely higher reward on that. Let's keep the baseball conversation going. Some new Hall of Fame, newly eligible Hall of Fame players in Major League Baseball. 14 names eligible for the first time that are on this year's ballot. There's some interesting ones, some no-doubters, and some borderline calls. We'll get into that when we get back here to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, this season, Nebraska is celebrating 50 years of Husker women's basketball, and they need you to help celebrate. You've shown up for women's hoops from the start and continue to prove that Nebraska fans really are the best in the nation. On Sunday, January 26th, the Huskers face Big Ten opponent Ohio State, and they're calling on all Husker fans to help pack PVA so they can celebrate 50 years of Husker women's hoops together. Get your tickets now and be a part of this historic season. For event and ticket information, go to huskers.com/tickets. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to On the Block. Strick in the building. We just had Love Volleyball Stars up in here. It's been a great day, phenomenal day, even on a cold, brisk day. On the Block has been hot.
I don't know. What positions did you play in volleyball, Ellie? Were you a hitter, blocker?
I was the middle.
Oh, heck no.
Heck no. Look at my height, and you tell me if it's a heck no.
What was your vert?
I don't remember, but I know it was the
Oh,
best
she
on
doesn't.
the team.
Convenient.
It was the best on the team, I can tell you that.
She's about the size of Laura. She could have been a setter.
No, I couldn't have.
Were you always tall?
I've always been tall. I've always been the tallest.
Me too.
Besides my one friend. We were the same height.
Oh,
get a load of this guy.
I was.
Well, then you hit the NBA.
Well, but I was like,
And
I
then
was
a man child growing up.
average.
Yes,
I was.
Joking.
I was always like the tallest. Like even in like elementary school, they didn't want me to play with the regular kids. I had to always play against other kids, and I thought I was gonna. Austin, I thought I was gonna be 6'6", 6'7". There was no doubt in my mind. Austin, I'm 6'2" in the 8th grade. I'm like, yes, I'm on my way, baby.
Them growth plates
They
said
said
nope,
no.
close.
We say no.
Slam that door closed.
Yeah, but we're not going to say no to somebody on this list here. MLB's first-time Hall of Fame eligible players for 2025 has been put forth, has been put out. We've talked about those who have been in the past that we thought maybe should have got in, why they haven't got in. Maybe Balco kept them from getting in. Whatever the case may be, there's been a lot of issues. But there's one guy specifically that I am interested in taking a look at, and it's a Seattle Mariner.
Which one?
And I remember him. I used to think he had one of the smoothest swings. Ichiro Suzuki. I freaking just loved. There was just something about his game that I loved. 10 All-Stars, 10 Golden Gloves, 3,000 hits, 2001 AL Rookie of the Year, and the 2001 AL MVP. I really loved him. We're not going to get into it too deep right now because I'm going to let Austin cook. But Austin, there's going to be a few players that I may address that I think is first timer potentially in. But tell me what you think about this group of men that found their way on the first ballot opportunity to get into the MLB All-Star. I mean, not All-Star, but Hall of Fame.
It's a weird class. It's a weird first-time class. And I mean that with all the love in my heart, because Strick, a lot of these guys are guys that I would recognize from when I first really started paying attention to baseball. Like, yeah, I've been a Royals fan. There's not a Royal here in this list of 14 guys that are eligible for the Hall of Fame for the first time here in 2025. But these are a lot of names that I knew growing up. This is kind of that generation for me. Obviously headlined by Ichiro Suzuki, who, if he doesn't get in on the first ballot,
he gets in first.
Something's absolutely crazy. Yeah. Does he deserve to be unanimous? I don't know. He was really good. But I mean, if Ken Griffey Jr. wasn't unanimous, Babe Ruth wasn't unanimous, like, what are we doing here? So Ichiro is absolutely in. Guy like Carlos Gonzalez, who bounced around the league a little bit, really good peak. Curtis Granderson is a guy who was a pain in my butt as a baseball fan for so long. Whether he was with the Tigers, the Yankees, the Mets in that 2015 World Series, I got a lot of respect for Curtis Granderson, but it is begrudging respect.
I've got to ask you this.
Okay.
I've got to ask because I'm letting you cook, but I'm letting you taste it right now. You know how it pause. You know how the when a chef is in the kitchen.
Here, taste this.
like on the movie Ratatouille.
You need less salt.
Ratatouille.
You're salty, dude. You need less salt.
Yeah, I know. But you remember Ratatouille, the dude with the big nose? He would taste it. Okay, that's you. What about CC Sabathia? That's the one that I kind of shaky.
What say you?
Shaky.
What do you think?
I think it's
in or out.
Like, I think it's possible he gets in, but then I think it's possible that he waits another year or two. I think by year 3 he gets in for sure. I just don't know if he's first ballot to me. I think he got off and running early, and then the tapering off, I think for me, gives me a little pause.
CC Sabathia is a really fascinating case because if you look at the overall numbers, they're good. They're not elite. I mean, 250 wins is a big check mark for him. ERA of 3.74, good, not elite, not great. I mean, 560 games pitched, over 3,500 innings. I mean, the 250 wins, the 3,000 strikeouts are a big piece of this. I think there's a couple other things to think about when it comes to CC Sabathia. That 2006 season, one of the best in baseball history. 34 starts, 4 complete games, including a shutout, in 41 innings pitched. 975 batters, led the league, and an ERA plus of 141, which was really good. 5.5 strikeout to walk ratio. All-Star Cy Young, but only 14th in MVP voting. He did that in Cleveland the year before he was traded to Milwaukee. When I think of CC Sabathia, I know him for tormenting the Royals for Cleveland. I know that he was the big piece for New York. I mean, he finished fourth in Cy Young voting in 2009. As they open up new Yankee Stadium, they win the World Series in 2009. A big part of that was CC Sabathia, a year he led the league in wins. What I will remember CC Sabathia for, even without being a Brewers fan, is that run he had in Milwaukee. He was a trade deadline acquisition. He pitched, like half the year for both teams, for Cleveland and Milwaukee. 18 games with Cleveland, he puts up 1.9 wins above replacement. In 17 games with the Brewers, 4.9 wins above replacement in half a season. That is basically unheard of for a position player, let alone a pitcher. CC Sabathia in Milwaukee, a Milwaukee team that was trying to fight and scratch and claw its way to the playoffs. 7 complete games out of his 17 starts. 3 of them were shutouts. Only allowed 6 home runs in those 17 games. Struck out 128 batters to only 25 walks. I don't know if I have seen a pitcher as dominant as that for that stretch of time, to put a team on his back like that every 5th day, honestly, every 4th day sometimes, pitching on short rest just to get the Brewers to the playoffs, just to not re-sign with them. Right, Strick? How many guys would in a midseason trade at the peak of their value go out and bust their butt that hard for a team that they know they're not signing back with? He was in line for huge money. He got it from New York after that. But CC Sabathia, what he did in Milwaukee, great ambassador for the game. Obviously had his own struggles with substance abuse and addiction and whatnot that he overcame. Numbers are borderline Hall of Fame, hit the important couple check marks. I just think CC Sabathia holds an outsized position kind of in that era of baseball, and for that special year that he had a good peak. He did it for a long time as well. And you can point to the moments with him. So I am in on CC Sabathia. First ballot, you can talk me into it, but I think eventually he's got to be in the Hall.
Yeah, no question about it. I actually feel the same way. Who on this list here that you can say is on the teeter-totter, just looking to tip the scales just a little bit? And who do you just say, you know what, they're going to have to wait a little bit longer, maybe 4 to 5 years? Talk to me.
Before we get to that, Cubsker says, thanks for bringing up CC as a Cubs fan. Not. And then we have Big Slim saying, the best thing I heard with CC is he was pitching in the last game of the year for the Yankees, basically at his innings number to hit an incentive. But he still threw a pitch at the Rays batter in retaliation, knowing he would get ejected. Just kind of a good teammate thing, right? Didn't worry about his money, was more worried about protecting his teammates. So there's always that. One-Eyed Ray, a 2-year run is not what CC Sabathia had, right? 08 and 09 are what he's going to be remembered for, but CC Sabathia was a monster for more than just 2 years. BJ in Wichita says, no way is CC Sabathia first ballot. I tend to agree, but I'm not going to be mad if he is a first ballot guy. The guys that are on the fringe for me, Strick, there's going to be a lot of discussion about Felix Hernandez, and I think about Dustin Pedroia as well. King Felix, at his peak, one of the most dominant pitchers of that 2000 to 2013 era. Threw the perfect game, absolutely an icon up there in Seattle. Basically, once he hit 30, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's young, even in baseball terms, for a pitcher, right? Usually got another 2, 3, maybe even 4 years out of a guy's arm. When Felix Hernandez was done, he was done. That was it for him. Same with Dustin Pedroia. The injuries, man. He was a spark plug at the top of that Boston lineup. Just a pain in the butt for guys to face. In fact, I don't want to do anything sacrilegious. I'm sure DP's listening in the background, but they're not the same player. But I do see some similarities just in terms of how much of a pain in the butt, how good of a pure hitter Dustin Pedroia was, kind of setting the stage for Jose Altuve. Another undersized, gritty, grimy guy, enough pop to make it happen. High average, good stolen base, above average to elite defense as well. If we don't have Dustin Pedroia, I don't know if we see Jose Altuve. But again, the peak for Dustin Pedroia, elite, the longevity, not necessarily there. Is being the best player in baseball at your position for 4.5, 5 years enough to get you into the Hall, or do you need a little bit more of a sample size for that? And then you have to factor in the teams that Dustin Pedroia played on. They get the 04 and the 07 championships in Boston. He's a part of that 13 championship with Big Papi. But I just don't know if I can separate how good Dustin Pedroia was from just how good some of those teams that he played on were. So I wouldn't vote Dustin Pedroia this year. That's a guy I think needs to take another look. Ian Kinsler's kind of the opposite. Was a really good player for a number of years across Texas, and then his time in Detroit and Texas, especially where I remember him from. He never had the elite peak, right? He was a top 5 second baseman pretty much every year of his prime, and even a little bit outside of that. He meant a lot to Texas, was really good as a young guy in Detroit. But was he ever the best player at his position? I think you can tell the story of baseball without Ian Kinsler, a guy that was really good for his era. I don't know if he crosses into the threshold of elite. For me, another guy I'll need to take a look at. The other two, Brian McCann was one that comes to mind. He's one of 2 catchers on the list alongside Russell Martin, I believe, is the other one. Brian McCann was the better player, if you look at the value. Better hitter and one of the best defensive catchers of the era, like Yadier Molina level defensive. But in terms of with the bat, he's not one I would have considered off the rip. That's a name like, oh yeah, he was a good player. But Brian McCann won the 2017 World Series, 7-time All-Star, 6 Silver Sluggers, and 282 home runs as a catcher for some really good Braves team, and then bounced around as well. The last guy that I kind of have on the fringe there is a personal kind of favorite of mine, Strick. Adam Jones. Really good player, really solid player for the Orioles. Was an all-star pretty darn consistently. I have the numbers here somewhere. Where are you at, Aaron? Or Adam Jones, where are you at? You're at the top, aren't you? Adam Jones. Yeah. 5-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, 1 Silver Slugger, 1,900 career hits, 282 career home runs. Those are decent numbers, but I think what is going to help Adam Jones's case, Strick, isn't necessarily what he did to Baltimore, helping that franchise move forward from where they were, being part of some playoff teams. But Adam Jones kind of turned into Captain America in the World Baseball Classic. When I think of Adam Jones, I'm not going to think of the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going to think of him robbing teammate Manny Machado from center field, that right center field wall in the World Baseball Classic, Team USA against, I believe, the Dominican Republic in that game.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the lasting image for Adam Jones, who by all accounts is a good dude, who I think is going to make some friends, given his time in kind of the media circles, his activity on social media. Do I think Adam Jones is a Hall of Famer? Definitely not first ballot. That's another guy I would at least be interested to take a look at, because the numbers are close. They're borderline. He was a really good player in that era, and I do think that the national team contributions will play a part in the discussion around Adam Jones.
Well, there you go. Great breakdown. So you've come to the conclusion you believe Ichiro's first ballot.
Ichiro should be first ballot. I would put King Felix in the next 5 years. I would put CC in the next 3 years. The other guy we didn't talk about, Strick, that I think is going to end up in the Baseball Hall of Fame, Fernando Rodney. Sideways hat. Like, that's a guy that, again, the numbers are what they are. 327 career saves, pretty good. Bounced around the league quite a bit. Played for darn near double-digit teams. Only a 3-time All-Star. Won the 2019 World Series when he was a member of the Washington Nationals. He was a closer for that team. But when you think of Fernando Rodney, you think of the bow and arrow celebration. You think of the sideways hat. You think of it again as his international contributions. Led the league in saves in 2014 as a member of the Seattle Mariners. I didn't like Fernando Rodney when he was playing, but I think that's a guy that kind of mellowed out and grew on me, especially because he played a piece on some decent teams that were competitive. He's high enough on the saves list that I think he gets in. I don't know. I'm leaning toward probably not, but that's a guy that a little more consideration from me. I wouldn't hate to see him in the Hall of Fame. So those are the 4 guys: Ichiro, King Felix, CC Sabathia, Fernando Rodney, that I would put in
5.
Personally. Rodney might be a 7 to 10 guy. Brian McCann is probably next on that list for me, and then it's Adam Jones and Ian Kinsler. So I would give half the class a shot at getting in, but I doubt 7 of the 14 make it eventually.
Well, there you go. Great breakdown. Whatever you guys have to say, thank you for chiming in and giving your thoughts as well. 402-464-5685 if you want to join that. But we know what we have next, and that is the crossover. We'll be right back after this. 937 The Ticket. We're on the block.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Best yet, come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hey guys, this is Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker and now League One volleyball athlete. League One volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with our first serve on January 24th, 7 p.m. at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Witness history in the making as we take on Love Madison in our first ever home match. Visit LOVBOMA.com for tickets. First serve January 24th. Be there when it all begins. That's LOVBOMA.com for tickets to watch Love Omaha volleyball. Go Big Red and go Big Green.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 19th, enjoy USDA Choice Boneless Beef Rump Roast for $4.99 per pound. All-natural boneless pork roast for $1.99 per pound, 5-ounce tuna steak and mahi-mahi fillets $2.99 each, and chicken chili Crispitos, 99 cents a piece. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up On the Block with the crossover with Old School, but not today. Takedown Tuesdays comes your way here in the next 5-10 minutes or so. Normally, this is our crossover, though, sponsored by League One Volleyball. Omaha begins their home season January 24th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Get your tickets online at LOVB.com. You can see former Huskers Jordan Larson, Justine Wong-Arantes, Maddie Kubik, Lawrence Difference, and our two guests in studio today, Lexi Rodriguez and Laura Dykema, in action again. Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Gave out a pair of tickets to the home opener on the 24th. Go to LOVB.com for your own tickets. Strick, we opened up the show by talking a little bit of NFL, the debacle for the Vikings, the way their season ended at 14-3, but 14-4 with the playoff loss. What we didn't get to was some news that I don't think was necessarily unexpected, but we did officially get it, and we can talk about it. Jerry Jones has reached out to have preliminary conversations about the Cowboys head coaching position with none other than Coach Prime. What do you think?
I mean, okay. So this is twofold. One, well, actually, it might be threefold for me. One, if I'm Coach Prime, I'm looking at all of the matrices. All right. I'm looking at my contract at Colorado, what I've done in Colorado in a few years, what their revenue has shot up to become in that time frame. I'm looking at it that now I've proven and I'm underpaid. So this is a good opportunity to use leverage for me. Okay. I have relationships in Dallas. And how you know that this can work is because everyone knows that there's really only one person that's going to be a first-time coach that can handle all of the stuff that comes with being there, and that's Prime, right? Outside of any other, top nine, I think Belichick can handle it, but I think it's too late in the game now. I think he's set things to what he needs to feel that he can do there in North Carolina. I don't think he's going, to be honest. I think he's looking at it as a potential leverage play. And then lastly, I really do believe that if Jerry Jones wasn't around, now I can make it, I can make it make sense.
I'm with you. Is there a part of Deion Sanders that thinks he can outlast Jerry Jones? You take the job now, get through whatever years you have with Jerry in charge, and then it becomes more your franchise, or are you not willing to take that risk?
I personally don't think he coaches in the NFL unless it's someone unless it's on a team that he knows his sons are, or on a team that he knows his son can get to in a free agency. This is why I don't think he does it early. I could be wrong.
Which is my next question. Do you think he takes a Cowboys interview just to set himself up for a future interview down the line?
Well, that's what I was saying. I think it's a leverage play. I think it's
I didn't know if you meant leverage with the NFL or with Colorado.
No, with Colorado.
Yeah,
he goes and does that because it can be plausible that can happen.
Sure.
If you're Colorado, here's what your options are: pay that man more, or fall off the freaking wagon if he leaves. I guarantee you, if he leaves, guess what happened to Marshall?
Oof. Not good.
Tell the people what happened to Marshall.
They lost like dang near half their roster, couldn't play in their bowl game.
Almost. Well, that's before the game. Now it's dang near the whole team. It's like 60 players.
Yeah. For a coach that beat Notre Dame and who you let walk to a team in your conference, team at the bottom of your conference, you let your coach walk away to.
Okay.
Dang.
So, worst case scenario, he takes him with him to where he's at, and he comes back and beats the brakes off of you. Okay, anyway. So, that's what happens. Just give you an idea. That's what happens to Colorado if Prime leaves. They go on the la-di-dee-doo, la-di-dee-doo, Hey, you know what that, if you don't know what I'm saying, The Price is Right had a game, and guess what it did? It climbed up what? The mountain. What's in Boulder? Mountains. So it is a literal connection as to what's going to happen to you. You're going to go over and that part if he leaves Colorado. That's what I see.
I think you're onto something there. It's been a good show. Really appreciate Love Volleyball Omaha coming down. We will play officially the shootout with Strick tomorrow and Thursday. So don't worry, we will get the $30 given away to our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings each of the next 2 days. Once again, big thanks to Lexi Rodriguez, Laura Dykema for joining us here on the show. If you missed those interviews, check them out. Podcasts will be up for you wherever it is you get your podcasts, or find the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You can pull up the interviews, listen back through there.
I just want to know, shout out to Texter 2523 and bump all y'all that didn't love Stricky. Stricky love, it's a yes.
For Stricky Love, for Ellie, I'm Austin. Don't go anywhere. Takedown Tuesday, sponsored by Stevenson Smith Construction. This has been this has been On the Block, brought to you by our friends at Nebco. Check them out. NebcoInc.com, ConstructorsLincoln.com, ReadyMixedConcrete.com. Talk to you tomorrow at 2.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 19th, enjoy USDA Choice Boneless Beef Rump Roast for $4.99 per pound. All-natural boneless pork roast for $1.99 per pound. 5-ounce tuna steak and mahi-mahi fillets, $2.99 each. And chicken chili Crispitos, 99 cents a piece. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for